robbing people of their hard-earned cash, and the next moment they're dead? Why won't you look into yourself? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Repost the live for me, please, and share it, and let's see if we can get this up to at least 100. There are many things I want to talk to you about this morning, and I need a bigger audience. Come on. Again, I make an appeal to you to make a contribution to this program, staying on the air. Our Zelle account is being posted on the screen as we speak. Good morning, Jem. If you are in Jamaica, 876-858-9553. There is a way that you can support us here on TikTok. You can send us a gift. Yeah. I see other programs that are not contributing half that we are contributing. Getting a lot of support, and we are barely able to keep on the air. Good morning, Caroline. Good morning to you. Morning.
How are you, sir?
Well, I'm here this morning wondering, why is it that people are giving away their lives for a little bit of money? I mean, this tragic incident in Kingston yesterday where 3 men were unalive on the Mandela. You know, there is a video coming out this morning that they were captured robbing a bar.
Well, you know,
And I'm wondering, why is it that those who are looking on don't realize that this is not a life that is going to pay? They're suicidal.
do you think they're considering the dangers when they're committing these crimes, neighbor? I don't think so.
They would be stupid. They would be stupid. They're always going to be risk. And how could you go into an establishment? You have no mask on. Yeah. Only for the surveillance cameras to pick you up. Information gets to the police, and in no time you're cut down. These men are, you don't know. It's so sad. And they have mothers, and they have sisters, and they have brothers, they have families.
Why do you say it's sad, neighbor?
It's sad because any life lost is a life that could have been used in productive ways. They may have children, they may have wives or girlfriends. There are people mourning this morning.
Yes, but neighbor, at a time like this, when there's so many other things that you could do to earn a living and you choose to do that, then, you know, you have to be willing to suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't think it's sad. I think it's a good thing that, you know, they're getting rid of these people. They're non-productive.
Well, boy, I tell you, this is crazy. Anyway, for those people in Jamaica, 876-858-9553. And for people in the diaspora, I'm sure you'll post the required information for them soon. You're being reckless, man. You're being reckless with your life. the life that God has given unto you. You are throwing it away. You are being reckless with your life. Reckless. And you are putting other people's lives at risk too. This is recklessness. Saying good morning to all my friends all across Jamaica. Good morning to all my friends in Jamaica and all over the world. The work that we do here affects people in Jamaica and all across the world. Sasha Lewis, good morning to you. It's 13 minutes after 9 o'clock, fully shaped good. Good morning to you. Morning to Carty Key. Thank you for the roses. We want about 3 or 4 whales today. Some lions and some money guns. And we're not going to be able to come off 11 o'clock if we don't earn today's fee. Caroline. Caroline, you're going to have to help me.
Yes, sir.
We need to raise the fee for the program today. You haven't been doing well at all.
Are you asking me to sponsor it?
I don't know how you're going to do it, but I can't proceed if I don't. Well,
I'll tell you what, I'll sponsor half.
Half?
Yes, sir.
So how are you going to work out the other half? Because I'm in a bit of trouble here. You know, I see people talking rubbish on the line about 9 to 5. Oh boy, you didn't even understand. You hear? You don't understand. Truth be told, is asking how much for the other half, Caroline. Hello? Work with me, my lady behind the glass. Truth be told, is asking how much for the other half.
$75.
$75, sir.
1 second, lady.
Yeah. I need $75, please. That's just for the morning show. I'm gonna need the fee for tonight's program. I can't do it. I cannot do it. You know, I'm going to have to. I have several clips lined up to be edited, to be produced for 7 o'clock. How may I go do it? Well, for me to do it, I have to put aside maybe 2 or 3 hours to. For example, let me show you. Let me tell you something. Those of you out there in listener land, some of you call it radio land. So the Prime Minister spoke yesterday for maybe an hour and a half. And you need to go into the Prime Minister's speech to pick out 2 pieces that are 1 minute long, so that you can play that and have your guests comment on it. How long do you think it takes to go into it? First of all, you have to listen back the speech. So you have to listen back the speech to find out, I wonder if we missed anything. Is there anything of news value? Any newsworthiness so that we can bring this out? And then after, hello?
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I just need $40 now, okay?
$40, right? And then after you listen to this speech, you have to now go over to the Gleaner, the Observer, and hear what have they to say about the speech. Then you have to listen commentary on it. You may have to go to Nationwide to listen. Did George Davis comment on this? Did Cliff Hughes comment? What about Dan Jackson? Did they say anything on that? Are there any persons who wrote on it? And then you have to go to social media to find out whether or not anything is playing in social media. You talk about 9 to 5, brother. If you are in Jamaica, 876-858-9553. If you are online on TikTok, help us achieve our life goals. Put it on your card and do it for your country and do it for Jamaica. So the government is saying that it is likely to borrow. The government is going to be borrowing some money to help with post-Melissa recovery. If you listen to the Prime Minister today, sorry about that, Jamaica is going to have to borrow some money. Not only that, but the government is purchasing 5,000 container homes. 5,000 container homes are to be purchased, and the Prime Minister is saying that the 5,000 homes will be purchased by the National Housing Trust. Some of the homes will be given away, and others will be on mortgage. Pampadu 1, morning. Full electricity restoration could take 6 months, the Prime Minister is saying. By the way, NWC, there's no water in Old Harbour, you know. What's happening? What's happening to the water in Old Harbour? I mean, we need to understand what's happening. Water is life. Are you taking away the life? You know, water is life, but we don't have no water. Well, so JPS, the full restoration is going to take up to 6 months. In other words, some people in Jamaica will not get back electricity before Christmas. That's not good news. Water is life. We need water. You know. There was a brilliant little piece of bite of the day from a lady. Said, we need water. We need water. Joan White, calling on behalf of the people of Old Harbour, they need water, okay? People in Marley, people in Claremont, all over Old Harbour, no water. place a call to the National Water Commission there for me. And you know, it's not that it's not just that the folks do not have water. It's that nobody won't tell them what's happening. They had water after Hurricane Melissa. Now they don't have any water for a couple of days, and nobody not say nothing to them. No, come on, man. So I understand that there may be challenges, but at least tell the people what's happening so that they understand when the water will come back, and if you're going to chuck water in. You have to say something. You have to say something, man. It is unacceptable. So, my friends in Old Harbor, we're trying to see if we can get some answers for you from the National Water Commission. I hear that the Marley pump got damaged. Oh, well, they're listening. Moon, are you in Old Harbor? Are you in Old Harbor? That's what I'm seeing, that the Marley pump get damaged. Morning, Andrew, motivational speaker. Morning, where are you in Jamaica? What? We need some answers. This morning, and you don't want me to come down to the National Water Commission, you know, and turn on the camera. Okay.
I'm trying to do something. As long as it...
Oh, you're in the St. Catherine area. Okay. Do you have water, Moo? You have water? Uh-huh. Okay, well, if the pump is blown up, how long the pump is going to take to fix? And in the meantime, what are the residents to do? What are the residents to do? What if we use wash, bathe, cook, clean? How? What happened? What go happen? They must go buy water? Where part? But they weren't planning for this. 1 week, them say, before they... My God. You know, a lady called me this morning begging me a bucket of water. She said her toilet no flush for days. But she don't have no reserve. What is she to do? Go and buy water in the store to flush her toilet? You know, I know that the government is well, it's not even government. This is the National Water Commission. I'm asking the National Water Commission to truck some water into the Old Harbor area, Marley, Claremont, all those areas. Thousands of people are living in those areas. As a matter of fact, there are two schools, two primary schools, Marley Primary and Old Harbor Primary. Hundreds of children. What they need water. And dozens of basic schools, lots of shops and the commercial district. Suffering, man. Come on. Morning, sir. Morning, Chris. Morning. Morning.
Morning, neighbor.
Morning, sir.
So
Morning.
morning, neighbor. Morning, neighbor. I wasn't coming up. I just my hand just catch it. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem. You know, Keisha. Morning, Keisha. Scratchy is not here yet. I know you come looking for Keisha, but for Scratchy, but only neighbor is here. I noticed you don't send no heart to when Scratchy come, don't send no heart here, okay? Please. Please, Keisha, don't send no heart here. Send them to Scotty. Put them in his inbox. No? Keisha, morning to you, Keisha. Hello there, Miss Palmer from Brighton Street. Sharon, Palmer. Elsie, hey, how you doing? Say hi to the folks over in Brighton Street for me. They all listen to a neighbor, eh? Wow, wonderful. Church? Oh yeah. Can't give up the church, man. You mad? Good morning to Florida. Oh, so many listeners in Florida. Look at Texas. We have listeners in Texas. Down in Australia. They're listening to us from South Africa. Good morning, South Africa. How you doing? Germany. Oh, Germany is online in the UK. All over the world. What they say, the program gone global?
Neighbor?
Uh-huh.
Hi. Can I please ask the listeners to tap the screen and to share and to repost the live, please? We need to get the numbers up. So we all need to repost, please.
All right. So yeah, let's do that. And we've been on here for half hour, and they're just listening and happy to see me.
Right. There's this white arrow at the bottom of the screen. I'm asking everyone to tap on it and then to tap on repost. And you can also repost it to your friends individually on TikTok.
Fantastic. You know,
help us to get those numbers up.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you, that I'm gonna have to raise the show's fee before I start in the days and nights, okay?
I'm sorry?
So, I'm saying, Jenny, I'm going to have to talk to you about raising the cost for the show before I proceed every time I come on.
Well, sir, please, if you're gonna ask for an increase, at least give me some numbers on the screen now, huh?
Okay, all right, great.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. All right, that's the... All right, so we're at 80%. All right, listeners. Press the arrow and repost, and I'm going to get to what I have for you today. And I know a lot of you are actually at work, listening at work, and so you probably are not able to come up and participate. We understand that. Mr. Mark Golding was on a show, and hear what he had to say. Let's listen to clip number 1, and it is with the leader of opposition, Mr. Mark Golding. Let's take that and then come back.
We are totally excluded from all of the structures and decisions that have been put in place by the government to deal with this. And of course, there are some areas which seem to be getting more attention than others, and that.
All right, let's pause that for a minute and go back from the top, and let's see if we can understand what Mr. Golding is saying. Now, remember that the leader of the opposition is representing the entire opposition. Okay? Other members of the opposition speak. You have to be careful not to interpret that as the position of the opposition. Now, here is the official position of
we are totally excluded from all of the structures and decisions that have been put in place by the government to deal with this.
We have totally been excluded. the opposition leader says that they have been totally excluded. Is that true? Is that true that the opposition is totally excluded? I don't understand. I can understand if he says that they are not comfortable with how much they have been included. But are they totally excluded? What is totally? What does totally means? Yes. If I say to you that you are to give me the total, it means you are to give me all of what I've asked for. To be totally excluded means that you have not been included at all. Mr. Golden is a lawyer. What does he mean when he says that the opposition is totally excluded? All right, so we have a lot for you this morning that we probably will not be able to get through, and this is coming out of yesterday's very comprehensive, very comprehensive brief by the Prime Minister. This evening, for example, we want to look at the quality of leadership that Wholeness has been offering over the last 9 years, culminating in this moment. So stay tuned for that. Harry, Scratchy, and I, along with Casey, will be looking at how Wholeness has led Jamaica. How has he really led Jamaica? We're going to put that under the microscope. And to have arrived at this moment, and what does this moment mean for him, his leadership, and what Jamaica can expect. Listen to the opposition leader again.
We are totally excluded from all of the structures and decisions that have been put in place by the government.
All right. So to be totally excluded means that you are completely left out. In other words, not even a telephone call you don't get. I wonder if Mr. Golden is not being careless with his use of words. And I don't know that as opposition leader, you can be careless with your words. It's very, very important that someone in these types of roles script what they say, you know. Because he has said something else in this tape, and I'm going to point out to you how Mr. Golden is thinking. And this is what is wrong, I think, with the opposition. As a matter of fact, it appears to me, actually, as a casual observer, that Golden is not going to be able to lead the PNP above where it is because of his own thinking. I'm going to show it to you. The way he thinks. You have to be a little bit more careful, Mark, with how you speak. To be totally excluded is to be completely left out, is to be omitted or barred from something. When you say that you are totally excluded, it means that you're barred. Yes, it implies that someone or something is not included, nor even considered. He does not say that they have been excluded. He twins the word excluded with totally to show the magnitude or the gravity of the exclusion. So he adds the adjective for emphasis, totally. You have not been given any access to even the opportunity to participate. And so the question to the listeners is that true? Is it true that the opposition does not even have the opportunity to participate? And I know your answer is going to be no, because you can go to Parliament. And in Parliament, you can raise questions, ask questions. Did you not hear the Prime Minister responding to the leader of the opposition in the Parliament about the $50 million request that the opposition made? Which means that the Prime Minister considered the request. So how is the opposition leader saying that they have been totally left out? What the opposition leader is saying is that his party is completely left out of the decision-making process, completely left out of relief efforts or support initiatives, which can be problematic. But I saw the Prime Minister in Eastern Westmoreland with Dayton Campbell. Who is Dayton Campbell? Could someone remind me? Who is Dayton Campbell? I didn't want to do this, but let me play this for you.
Cannot be trusted. I lost money.
Go back. Come.
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be.
Well, I know me say so. I am just playing what they put before me. That is the Prime Minister in a national debate.
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted. I lost money.
Play it again.
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted.
Prime Minister said the leader of the opposition is a liar. Wow. You know, Jamaica is really at a crossroad. Real crossroad. And if you think that these matters are trifle and are not to be raised, then you don't live in a real Jamaica. The leader of the opposition is a liar. That's what the Prime Minister say, you know. Can't be trusted. Now, I don't know Mark Golding. I don't know him. I know of him. I am only examining what is being placed before me. And what is being placed before me requires some explanation. Because here is what the leader of the opposition.
Yes. We are totally excluded from all of the structures and decisions that have been put in place by the government to deal with this. And
I'm telling you that that is not true. That is not true. It is not true because the opposition was invited to sit on a committee that they requested and later refused to do so. So how you say you are totally left out? Listen on.
of course, there are some areas which seem to be getting more attention than others and that kind of thing.
There are some areas that are getting more attention than others and that type of thing. What does that mean? Which area is getting more attention than others, Mr. Mark Golding? Which area? You know, here you go again. Which area? I would love the listeners to come up and tell me. If you are a comrade, tell me the truth. Which area is getting more attention than the other? Which area? Because what Mr. Golding is not saying here is that the government is being biased. And the bias would be that areas represented by the People's National Party are being victimized. Is that true? And if it is true, Mr. Golding should provide the evidence. Because that would be wrong. You can't victimize suffering people. But if it is not true, then the leader of the opposition is dividing the country at a time when we should be united. And that's the point. He is suggesting that there is victimization happening on behalf of the state agencies of government or the government itself. Is that true? Is it true because the Prime Minister said that he landed in Santa Cruz or St. Elizabeth because the helicopter couldn't land in Westmoreland? And since that time, he toured Westmoreland with CARICOM heads and lending agencies. The government of Guyana is going to be repairing 200 roofs. You know where they're going to be repairing the roofs? Tivoli Gardens. Are coming back. Oh. Coming back. Stay with me. Going with you until 11 o'clock. Share the live. We have a lot more to come.
Screen and share the live and also repost the live, please.
No ride, straight landslide. It's gonna be a no ride.
All right. Sorry about that. We ran into a little bit of problem here, so we had to do that. Okay. So then, the leader of the opposition is saying that, listen to him again. How do we have?
And that kind of thing. Colin, to be honest, I have tried my best to try to be constructive in what I say at this time, because I realize
I have tried my best to be constructive in what I say at this time. No, sir. You have not been constructive in what you say. You just say that you are totally left out, which is not true, and that the distribution is not being done fairly. I have much. Let's go.
this is not a time for politics. If we don't handle this thing right, it is going to set us back. Handle this thing right, it is going to set us back for such a long time. So I really want to be part of the solution. I don't want to be part of it, the problem.
Right.
But I do believe, I should say, and I'm segueing a bit now.
I want you to listen to this.
I do believe that for us to get the best possible response and have the best chance of doing it the right way, and by the right way I mean a way that brings us out of the hole that we're now in as quickly as possible, the opposition, which represents a large portion of the population of the country.
Yes.
That's it. That's the problem with the PNP. I want you to listen. I wonder if there's a bright listener that could analyze this for me. I'd be prepared to give you $100 credit. I don't have no money. I wonder if there's a listener that could help me with this. Is there a listener? I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to show you why Jamaica must be careful. I will say no more. You better be careful. You people of Jamaica, careful. Careful or not, though. You me tell you no? Careful what you do. Listen again.
Country.
Yes.
We are a large portion of the population of the country.
Yes.
We are, which represents, out of the hole that we're now in, as quickly as possible, the opposition, which represents, a large portion of the population of the country.
Yes.
the opposition, which represents a large portion of the country. The leader of the opposition, the alternative prime minister, a man who ran to be prime minister of Jamaica in a crisis, goes on air and says that the opposition represents a large population of Jamaica. In other words, comrades, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. I must take a break. This is incredulous. It is an amazing admission. Yesterday was International Men's Day, you know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're bouncing 2 minutes after 10. Politics Plus Daytime is on. Your neighbor and Caroline. Have we earned the fee for today's yet, Caroline? Have we?
No, I'm short $40.
I need $40. Need $40 to pay for the program, okay? But $40 more. Can we get someone, 2 persons, 4 persons to jump in with $10, or 2 persons 20, 1 person 40? We need $40.
That we're now in as quickly as possible. Yeah.
I want you to.
Yes. We are, and by the right way, I mean a way that
I want you to listen to him again.
Brings us out of the hole that we're now in as quickly as possible. The opposition, you know, which represents, you know, a large portion of the population of the country.
Yes.
We are
the opposition, which represents a large portion of the country, is a statement fraught with problems. And I wonder if this is the problem the PNP is having. In theory, the opposition represents the interests of Jamaicans. The opposition is separate from the PNP, as the government of Jamaica is separate from the Jamaica Labour Party. The Jamaica Labour Party is at Belmont Road. The government of Jamaica is at Jamaica House. And the leader of the opposition does not seem to understand that he does not represent a segment of the population, but all. Is that why you are concentrating your efforts in Westmoreland? I see. Wow. What a telling admission. What a telling admission. What a telling admission. I need 3 hours to deal with this. I need 3 hours to deal with this. Wow. Now I see the problem. I've been searching. I have been searching for the answer, you know, and I just find it. That's it. Wow. Now I have it. Breaks my heart, actually. You know, Mr. Crawford, I want to talk to you. Can you get Mr. Crawford for me, please? Someone? Damian Crawford? The role of the opposition is to hold the government accountable, ensure checks and balances, and provide alternative policies and ideas that benefit the country. They are not representing their own supporters. That is not the role of the opposition. Mr. Gonin is admitting that he is representing a large. It's the second time I hear him say this. The first time he said that over 400,000 people voted for his party. It's not just about representing a large segment of the population, sir. You are to strive to represent all of Jamaica. And you see these civil society groups. I always want to say this to the listener. Imagine if the Prime Minister, who is no different, you know, in terms of the role, the leader of opposition, gets an SUV with gas. Jamaica pay for that. He's the second highest paid member of parliament in the House of Representatives. He gets more money than the finance minister. It's a constitutionally recognized office. The leader of opposition. He's the alternative prime minister. Imagine if Andrew Holness, what happened to the Labour Party bloggers? How them not pick up things? Why the Labour Party people have not picked this up? Imagine if the Prime Minister yesterday had said that he is representing a large segment of the population. What would have been a bangarang online this morning? What would be a bangarang across Jamaica? Civil society groups would have come out. The opposition would have called press conference. Dion Jackson Miller, yeah, Ralston Hyman. There would have been calls for his resignation. Imagine if Mr. Holness had come out and said he is representing a large segment of the population. Jamaican for Justice would have called for his resignation. The Gleaner would have it as a headline this morning. Holness declares bias. The Observer would have it. It would lead primetime news on TVJ. CVM would have discussion on it. And the vloggers and bloggers, it would be all over the media this morning. But what they say, different strokes for different folks. And that's part of the problem with the society. We hold the Prime Minister in such high, he's marked so high, but the leader of the opposition gets away with it. All BBC and CNN do that. I am calling on the Jamaica Labour Party bloggers to find this piece of tape. Find it and talk about it. It is a telling moment in Jamaica. Find this piece of tape. You want something to talk about? That's it. Not a smoking gun, you know. It may not be a smoking gun. But I think Mr. Golden should be asked to explain what he means. And if Mr. Golden cannot explain what this means, we need to question his fitness to be leader of the opposition. Because the opposition leader should speak on behalf of all Jamaicans, not just a segment of the population. It is their duty to represent the nation's interests, not just a particular group. And therefore, saying a large segment of the population comes across as divisive and partisan. And at a time when we should be striving for unity, this is what we get coming out of the opposition. Yesterday, it was even worse. One MP questioned whether or not people could read. When a caller asks about his office being open, he said there is a sign on the door saying OPEN, and the man must go figure out whether him people them can read. Jesus Christ. That's what we're getting for leadership. Questioning the intellect and the intelligence of a poor constituent who is seeking help. Go and find out if them can read. My God, this brings tears to my eyes. I never know that we would have come to this in Jamaica. I don't like to play other people too much on this program because I don't want to seem to be giving them a voice. But listen to this.
Very hard to, I tell you, it's very hard to see the devastation. It's hard. Yeah? But you know, I'm calling because yourself and Brother Perry and Ishmael is onto a very good point. What they are doing is that they intend, and people have to understand, they intend not to spend most of this aid. They don't intend to.
The government does not intend to spend any of the aid. The government don't intend to spend any of the aid. I wonder what the government is going to do with the aid. Listen on.
So they plan to do. So they plan to rely on the cat bond, which is
they plan to rely on the cat bond. It is not no cat bond, sir. Not no near cat bond. It's a catastrophe bond. Cat, C-A-T. Oh, cat. Listen on.
Maybe it's going to be injected in some of the budget.
Yes.
But if you look at where the real issue is, and by the way, right, the entire Westmoreland, Hanover, and those 4 parishes that are at ground zero, if the government doesn't declare a disaster zone in those parishes, do you know what happens? The parish councils are not empowered to act.
Yes.
And that is why, and I'm saying it is so crazy that the Prime Minister would have declared a disaster zone in Jamaica when only 6 parishes is obviously affected. And he's doing it because people need to go back to the Disaster Management Act. What happens in this Disaster Management Act is that he declared a disaster zone in the parish in non-attack.
Oh.
It is the ODPEM and the mayor and the parish. Remember, each parish has what is called the PDC, the Parish Disaster Committees. So those committees now would be the ones that would in fact be used to channel the aid. What do you think can bring ODPEM in their office?
Yes, explain that.
Now understand that under the disaster management, the Prime Minister has no power. It is ODPEM and the Ministry of Local Government, community development, but more so ODPEM. When he moved in order to have access to the aid and to what ODPEM is having, he has to put it in his office.
Yeah.
So him and Desmond need to come explain why have they moved ODPEM into it.
No good reason.
No good reason. So what's the grand idea of putting it there? No, not to me. What is the grand idea of putting it there? So it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, you are on something, you know.
We need to get the people some shelter. Look at the response is poor, and it's not being critical because it's disaster, but the response is poor. It is very poor.
21 days after that is 3 weeks.
And we have not even had a national cleanup.
My God. Repeat that again.
Yeah, say it again.
A national cleanup after 21 days. But not only that, you have places in South St. James, right? And they're being very political towards the MP in South St. James. Yeah.
Likewise, Zonica Jess.
Yes. And it is a very shameful thing what is happening. The people in Welcome Hall, in Mountain, in some parts are cut off.
Garlands.
Garlands cut off, they don't have no access. The road block.
Remember, I said to me reach up on the key when we pass Cambridge and then go past Stonehenge, you know. Oh, I reach up at Stonehenge, Stonehenge.
Well, the government does not intend to use the resources because of what?
Andrew, it's very hard to, I tell you, it's very hard to see the devastation. It's hard. Yeah? But you know, I'm calling because yourself and Brother Perry and Ishmael is onto a very good point. What they are doing is that they intend, and people have to understand, they intend not to spend most of these aid. They don't intend to spend it.
So
the government does not intend to spend the aid. Most of it. Yes. And you listened to the Prime Minister yesterday. Let's see if we can find that and tell you about the aid that the government does not intend to spend. Listen.
Recovery and reconstruction activities will be financed initially from the National Natural Disaster Recovery Fund, the
Natural Disaster Recovery Fund. Not only does the government intend to spend the fund, it will have to borrow. It will have to borrow to make up for the shortfall. What a wicked people, them, man. What a wicked set of people these. And let me tell you this, you know, you may wonder, this is a type of misinformation that is in the country.
DRF. The NNDRF was set up to receive the proceeds of Jamaica's disaster risk instruments, including Jamaica's catastrophe bond, policies with the Caribbean Catastrophe Reinsurance Facilities, CRIF, and various credit contingent claims with the IDB and the World Bank. These amounts will total approximately $650 million US.
So there the Prime Minister has accounted for the money that they don't intend to spend. Okay? All right. Listen a little more.
It is likely that the government of Jamaica will have to borrow to finance reconstruction beyond what will be available in our NNDRF.
So the NNDRF not even have enough. The government will have to borrow on top of that to finance Jamaica's recovery. But according to PNP people, the government don't intend to spend the money. Something like what happened bad in Jamaica here, you know. If we continue this menu of vitriol, of misinformation, of lies,
we have immediate access to approximately, and please note I use the word approximately, $500 million US from the IMF's Rapid Financing Facility, the RFI. The RFI facility does not come with policy conditionality. So we will start this reconstruction effort with approximately $1.15 billion US in immediate funds. This is significant. To dimension this, under normal circumstances, it would take us 3 fiscal years to spend such funds in capital expenditure under normal circumstances. But let me just say this, because again, there is a lot of misinformation which is suggesting that the government of Jamaica is receiving huge sums. I would want, if it is possible, to display
the misinformation. Not only that, they're not only talking about the huge sums, but that the government don't intend to spend the money. Why are these things allowed on air? Can anything be done to stop it, man? And the worst part of it, you know, is that it is not that it is being spoken on air. People believe it. People believe it.
The grade assessment of damage. And just to look at what the infrastructure damage is. Just infrastructure. That's the one that you can say is absolutely public. And I believe that was about $2.3 billion. If you can display that very quickly. $2.9 billion of infrastructure damage. That's, you could say that's government's responsibility totally. And then there is a part of residential that would be government as well. And then there is a part of private, meaning private homes and private facilities that government may also have to assist. And then there is the relief and the recovery expenditure. So we have here a total of $1.15 billion. A part of it is the insurance and the contingencies that we have, and a part of it is immediately accessible debt that we could start. But just from the assessment here, which is not the final assessment, you know, there's $8.8 billion of damage for which the government would more likely be responsible for at least half. So there is still a gap that will have to be funded, and that will have to be funded by additional borrowing. So
there you have it. The government of Jamaica will have to borrow to fund the reconstruction. And according to this caller on this PNP show, the government get money and them nah spend it, or them nah want to spend it. We are in trouble, you know. We are in big, big trouble in this country. All right? No doubt about that. We are in trouble. Listen to $100 million US. Listen to this final piece of tape before I take a few calls. All right. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Let me see if I can find that. Do I have it up? Listen to it. Listen to it.
If not more. Why can't the government buy 150,000 container houses to disseminate in Western Jamaica?
No, that's a load of nonsense. I go play it again. I'm gonna point out that this is a big old load of rubbish. Just bear with me. I'm not
$100 million US, if not more. Why can't the government buy 150,000 container houses to disseminate in Western Jamaica?
All right. Now, the total number of houses that were damaged is 150,000 across the island. Now, this man who does have an audience, do not underestimate their influence. You know, now this is why I'm trying to help you to put to rest the nonsense and to explain to you and to show you the dishonesty. All right, it's not in Western Wemse the houses
$1 million US, if not more. Why can't the government buy 150,000 container houses to disseminate in Western Jamaica?
By 150,000, where am I gonna put them? Where in Westmoreland are these houses to be put, sir? Where? No. I would encourage you also to work on your English. The word disseminate well, you see, I tell you the truth. I don't claim to I tell you.
Oh gosh. I can't believe me. Hi. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
No pride.
Turn it down. Turn it down. You are giving me too much of that too. The sound is too high.
No pride. Strike.
The word disseminate means to spread or to share information. You can't disseminate house, brother.
It's gonna be a no bribe.
Go back to him. See if you can get it again. Yeah, go back. Let's hear it.
100 million US dollars, if not more. Why can't the government buy 150,000 container houses to disseminate in Western Jamaica?
The government is to disseminate 150,000 houses in Western Jamaica. Disseminate means to spread. So you disseminate information. You are giving information out. Ideas. Information. I am disseminating knowledge. If you're going to talk about houses, you have to use the word distribute or allocate. Is that what you mean? That the government should distribute 150 houses, or they allocate it? For example, sir, why can't the government distribute 150,000 houses to those in Western Jamaica? Or why can't the government allocate the houses to those affected in Western Jamaica? Not disseminate. You can't disseminate houses, okay, sir? So, poor you. But you, anyway. The second point to be made is that the 150,000 houses are for persons across the island, not Western Jamaica. This is the danger of misinformation. And you see, people are locked into these programs and they are fed the diet of misinformation. Western Jamaica don't need 150,000 houses. It's either there is a lack of understanding or there is a deliberate attempt to mislead. Which is it? I leave that to you. Caroline, I think we could take some calls for the next 25 minutes. Who do we have? Who do we have?
Good morning, neighbor.
Morning to you, ma'am. How you doing?
I am good. Long time you don't hear my voice. Not sure.
Well, no, I do. I hear you other places.
But anyhow, good to be here. I'm listening
Not a
very
problem.
often.
Yes.
But I wanted to go back to Mark Golding's speech because I saw where that roughly offended a little bit. But when people like myself and Chuck and others speak about the PNP, people say we're tribal and them call we all of the political names. But People's National Party versus Jamaica's Labour Party. One goes directly to the people that supports them. One is for the people of Jamaica. And that's it. Why the government is struggling to govern, why we see a lot of things not being implemented or them say, make it off of this person's desk. Because when PNP is in power, PNP look out for PNP. When the Jamaica Labour Party is in power, the Jamaica Labour Party looks out for Jamaicans. And that is the truth.
What a telling
When you
statement.
look
Let me play it again, ma'am, because I think our listeners need to understand what we're talking about here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Position, which represents, a large portion of the population of the country.
Yes.
We are.
The opposition represents a large portion of the country. Now, Lashika, let me ask you a question. If the Prime Minister had yesterday suggests that they represent a large, what would have been what would have been the result of such a statement?
You mentioned it all, neighbor. You mentioned it all. You said there would have been requests for resignation, retraction. He would have been on the front line of the newspaper and all the radio station. It would have been a topic of discussion. It would have been among the bloggers this morning of the PNP, because that's something they continue to speak among themselves. Oh, he's uncaring, he doesn't care about us. So if the Prime Minister had said that this morning, it would have been an uproar on TikTok, because they pick on this information, they feed on the negativity. So because they feed on the negativity, neighbor, anything that the Prime Minister says, it's going to become spotlight, right? And it is amplified by the media. It is amplified by the media, and the head of the people. When I listen to Mark Golding, neighbor, a lot of things going through my head, a lot of thoughts. So just allow me a little bit, please. When you listen to the head of the PNP, who is Mark Golding, and you listen to the man that you say is least educated, what you hear the same thing from both of them, very divisive, right? You hear the same thing coming out. You will hear the same thing from Dayton on a stage that you heard on a PNP bloggers live, right? This is the thing that come from the negativity. They feed on it, neighbor. They pick it apart, and then the media is so wrapped up in this, neighbor, that they just keep on to put it out. I heard you made a point that we are in trouble. Neighbor, I have been saying this, that Jamaica is in trouble and the media will be held accountable. The misinformation that is out there, the government alone cannot do it. The media is supposed to be in the middle to help the government to disseminate the information.
Yes,
and
you're
what
right.
they do, let me go back, neighbor, a little bit. As I said, there's a lot of thoughts. Let me go back a little bit. Why do you think, neighbor, that there's a control in the parliament, neighbor, with the House Speaker versus the PNP? Neighbor, they use the parliament for clickbait as to get Jamaicans in uproar. Neighbor, I'm an avid watcher of the parliament. I watch the parliament religiously. So what they do, they make misleading statements in the parliament. And what the media does during the years before the campaign, neighbor, they pick those up, put it online, and send the country in a frenzy.
We have
examples. I know this. I have seen it. When they do this, neighbor, it causes the people to turn away from the government and say, oh, it's wicked. But when you, and the clarification of those statements are not featured in the media. Because of that, we have a continuous circulation of misinformation.
Yes.
So it started years ago. I remember, neighbor, in Beryl, the Prime Minister went in the Parliament and he listed out a whole raft of benefit for the people. And the only newspaper, not even newspaper, the only media outlet that carried the information was NNN. All the newspapers did not print Not one thing about the benefits. And neighbor, you can go back and look. You can go back and look. Go fast forward to the debate the other day, neighbor. You mentioned that the Prime Minister is graded at a higher standard, and,
Yes.
the opposition leader is not graded any at all. Let us look at the debate. When Raymond Price carried on with himself, you know what they say? Oh, that's the passion of debate. That's how debate is. We needed that. When a member from the Jamaica Labour Party, I think it was Christopherson, who did that. Oh, he is a loser. They were weak. They were this, they were that. They should have been taken outside. Look at the leadership debate. When Mark Golding whipped out his birth certificate, that was a breach of the debate's law, right?
Oh.
Our policies, maybe not law, but policies. Policies become law, but, breach. And not one person highlighted that in the media. You are not allowed, neighbor, to take anything with you onto the debate stage. You're not supposed to have any pen, any paper, nothing, no notes, nothing at all. And he whipped that out in a leadership national debate, and he was celebrated. You know what somebody say? I remember a media personality say, oh, that was the sprung of the night, right? These are the things that we're seeing online. The media is now absent in what the government is doing. It is people like you and others, maybe even me sometimes. Neighbor, I told myself that the election, we won the election, I can go rest now because I've been doing this, right? But may I tell you, say, it's like it take me out of retirement. Neighbor, I am flabbergasted at the things that I am seeing. Neighbor, I love TikTok because everything for me is TikTok. Any information, I'll just jump on TikTok. While I'll be TikTok, Chat GPT, those tools, me use them all the time.
Yes.
And neighbor, nowadays I don't want to open TikTok.
Oh my, well you can't. But let me ask you, how is the party positioning itself 5 years from now? The government has a let me see if I can find it here. NARA. The government is establishing NARA by legislation, and NARA will be up for 5 years with billions of dollars. This recovery effort is setting the agenda for the next election. How is the party positioning itself to counteract, to engage, to make sure that they remain relevant in this field? Because I get the feeling you guys are a little bit off, man. Because even this thing that Mr. Golding said here, this should be front and center in terms of your discussions.
Neighbor, the party, as I have often said, is us, the supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party. And I've been having conversations with a lot of other bloggers. And a lot of us thought that, we could just relax and chill. But between yesterday, the day before, my phone rang consistently, neighbor. People are saying we have to get back out there. People are saying people are strategizing now, neighbor. What time am I going to go on and stuff like that? Because we are seeing, neighbor, what is happening in our country.
Yes.
There's also, neighbor, I've made a few calls to members of the party. And trust and believe, neighbor, that this took them by a storm because they were expecting unity. And one of the things that they're saying, one of them said to me was that the government, not the party, they said the government is actually focusing on recovering the country right now. That's where the focus is.
Hello? I don't know. I'm not. Hello? Lashika? I've lost her. Okay. All right. Okay. I've lost her. She was making a very good point there. I have lost her a bit. I hope she'll come back. In the meantime, insufficient funds. Hello.
Hi. Good morning, sir.
Morning to you, sir. Hi.
I am not gonna talk about Melissa. She's a flop. I just want you to, at some future point, address the issue.
Who is a flop? Who is a flop? Sorry, who is a flop?
Melissa.
What do you mean a flop?
Well, she was unwanted, and she made a mess of things. And I don't want to go there this morning.
Yeah, but to say she's a flop, sir, for the next 5 years, we will be speaking about her. That's not a flop.
I quite understand, but I am really here to say what I think would be a good topic to discuss at a future point. Can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay. The Los Angeles 2028 Olympics has come out with their schedule of events, including the fact that they say the women's 100 meters event will have the preliminary rounds, the semifinals, and the final event on the same day. I don't know if you have heard.
No, I haven't
heard that.
No, I haven't heard.
In other words, they're saying the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals will be run on the same day. Now, that is only going to do one thing. In fact, both Glenn Mills and Stephen Francis, our two top coaches, have already come out and say, no way, that cannot be allowed to happen. Because I'm saying this because that would undermine the performance of the female athletes across the world. You cannot expect them to live up to that type of endurance in one single day. Madness. And I think you should discuss it at some future point, because I think all your listeners would be interested to hear.
I'm sure they will, but we can discuss that on Saturday.
Okay. I just want to put it on the table, and that's it for me for today.
I want to thank you so much.
All right, neighbor. Take care.
You know, Politics Plus, not sports. Politics Plus. We talk politics here, and plus some other things, but do we have any other callers? 9 to 11. Hold on, Lashika.
Good afternoon.
I want you to listen to listeners. Listen to this lady. I think she would make a better opposition leader than Mark. Listen to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, after disaster like Hurricane Melissa, the most powerful tool we have is unity.
I agree with that. This is Natalie Nita Garvey. I'm going to support her for leadership, you know. Listen to her.
When we are united in purpose, government and opposition, national and local leaders, NGOs, community groups, and private citizens, recovery happens faster.
When we are united, recovery happens faster. That is Natalie Nita Garvey, standing up beside the opposition leader. You think she would make a better opposition leader? She point out something that I want to point out to you, though. I maybe could go back. Let me go back, because I think Lashika is at work. I don't want to hold up her. Go ahead, Lashika. I'll get back to that.
Neighbor, thank you. Sorry about that. I think my internet went. Sorry. So there's also another thing about South St. James, and as I have always said, I'm from Montego Bay, and based on the fact that I'm from Montego Bay, I am familiar with a lot of the areas. I went to school in Trelawney, so I know sometimes due to rainfall, we have to take alternative routes, which takes us into to other places. So I am familiar with a lot of the places. South St. James, that you heard the young man saying, oh, it is totally cut off. That is happening. People can't this. Neighbor, while the community may be split in half, there are alternative routes for people to get out of that constituency. People are in Montego Bay the day after the storm.
Yes.
And I have proof of that. There is one of our fellow bloggers who live in the area, who is at work today. Neighbor, there are helicopters in that area 4 to 5 times per day delivering care packages.
Yes.
But guess what? The media, again, I will come back down to the media, is not helping the government. Everybody is still playing politics. Everybody is still campaigning.
Absolutely.
Nobody is saying, okay, politics time done. Let us go back to the business of Jamaica. There is also something that is happening, that is brewing. And we as well-thinking Jamaicans and citizens, especially those who are in Jamaica at this time, need to pay a close attention to what is happening. You see the subtle messages, revolution, burn government, kill leader. If you guys don't stand up on a 2 foot, you guys are going to lose Jamaica. We are already losing Jamaican to the uneducated and the misinformation. If you don't stand on your 2 feet in Jamaica, the days of silence is over. It is over. I saw a man not in Jamaica. His name is D. He not have nobody on him page, nothing. And the page came across my For You and my For You page. And the man say, let us overthrow the government of Jamaica. That was his message on TikTok. And that resonated with me. And I kept saying to myself, what exactly is happening for us to be thinking? And if we don't pay attention, if you notice as well, Jamaica is split in half. Just the same way like 80, right? We're going to have one half in turmoil and the other half functioning. That's exactly what is happening in 80.
But Lashika, to be fair, the Prime Minister have really been trying to bring the country together. He's been a very uniting leader, and very he's not partisan at all. I mean, look at what he did on Monday. He brought the CARICOM leaders to Westmoreland to Westmoreland. The 200 houses that are coming from Guyana are going to be in Westmoreland.
But neighbor, we don't even have to go so far. When we look at Operation Pride versus social housing, it's a stark difference, neighbor. One, give to only PNP supporters in PNP constituencies. One, the government, the Prime Minister go everywhere, right? It is up to you as the MP to put your people forward. Why we have not seen more PNP people getting social housing is because their leaders are failing. And this is my next point, neighbor. We are seeing a display of incompetence of leadership here, right on display. Why do you think people are saying, oh, some areas are getting more attention? Because leaders lead, followers follow. If you don't, and neighbor, I've said this already, if you don't know your constituency, you're going to be in trouble at this very moment. If
But I
your
hear the Prime Minister saying yesterday that there were communities that they don't even know. There were communities unknown, ma'am.
Right. What he's saying, and I understand what he's saying, neighbor, because sometimes there are two communities in one. So when you reach at a particular point and say, oh, the community ends here, people go further up in the hills, go capture some place neighbor and start for them own community and call it a whole different name. So I kind of understand where he was going. So instead of people saying, okay, we're going to come down to this area, the central point, to receive the aid, what happened is that them say, oh, and a few community that and them stay up in a few them little corners where them create. And we have seen it oftentimes. Communities in communities, right? Especially when them call it tenement yard, neighbor, when it expand beyond just one family, they tend to stick together.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Some of Pamela Shika, what is it that you are arguing this morning? Having listened to the opposition leader position the argument for me, my time is almost done.
Neighbor, I want for the well-thinking Jamaicans who are always sitting on the sideline to step forward. I've been calling on them before the election, and now that we're in a crisis, I am calling on you guys again to be the voice of the voiceless at this time. I am calling on the people who have gone into these areas, neighbor, and seen what they saw, neighbor, to come and say, this cannot fix in 3 weeks. What you guys are doing is cruel. What you are setting up Jamaicans to fail if you're going to expect the entire western belt of Jamaica where there's no light post standing.
Did you hear CVM, ma'am? There was a reporter on CVM talking about 3 weeks after the hurricane, 30% of Jamaicans don't have electricity. As if to say, ma'am, in 3 weeks' time, the Prime Minister said yesterday that it's going to take 6 months. 6 months.
I spoke to one of my brethren. That man, not even Jamalin couldn't pass. Right? My childhood brethren, not even Jamalin couldn't pass. Him couldn't go and excel. And I said to him, what do you think? You think the government can work any faster? He looked at me and he said, the entire western Jamaica is flat. He said there is no light post standing. He said there is no light poles standing, neighbor. That any little thing that I had in my heart or in my head that the government was failing, that changed me, neighbor. Because me I say, if a man we can't even get through Jamal can understand how detrimental the situation is, neighbor, why a man we say him go high school, go university, and can't understand?
Intellectual dishonesty, ma'am.
Right. So, neighbor, I want the people. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she said her friend was in Jamaica. And she said, and this is not one person telling me this, it is 100 times worse than what we're seeing online. So how is it the two little picture them when me and you as a neighbor, we're sitting in the comfort of our bed, expect everything to be up, neighbor? I was reading a report, neighbor, and the people them said this is basically a category 6 hurricane based on
Well,
the
I
metrics.
understand that the wind speed was 252 miles per hour. That has been confirmed now. 252
yes.
miles per hour. My God.
Yes. Neighbor, I started crying for Jamaica when I looked at the picture, and they kept reiterating, neighbor, that this was a monster. This was what I was seeing in the movies. I started to cry. I went on Chuck Lives and I said, Jamaicans, please take this serious. Neighbor, everything red. Everything red. They said, we don't know how Jamaica will survive this. They were
And
not
isn't it a
expecting.
miracle? Isn't it a miracle, ma'am, that only 42 deaths we have confirmed, you know?
Neighbor,
wow,
what a lot of people have said, and if you listen to these people who have gone through the storm, they said if the storm came in the night, it would have been more bodies in Jamaica. And I listened. My uncle told me that in the midst, they had to run out of the house. My friend told me that it's 3 times the breeze lift up him roof and put it back down. Him say, and God's good mercy make him still have him roof.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Very good. And somehow there are people thinking that in 3 weeks' time, everything should be back. It's unrealistic. Can't happen.
It can't be.
But I have to run you here, so thank you.
Thank you for hearing me out today, and best upon yourself, everybody. And now is the time for you guys to stand up for Jamaica. Stand up. Or else we're going to lose Jamaica if we don't stand up.
Totally agree with you. Yes, and I want my listeners to understand that as far as we are concerned here on Politics Plus, we want to be on more hours, longer shows. Can't do it without you. Do this for your country, no? Do it for your country. Commit $20 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month. Commit something. $10 for Jamaica. Commit for Jamaica. Commit for an hour. Pay for something. Caroline? Caroline?
Yes.
Did we get the $40? Did we?
No, we got 20.
Can we have $20, please? Can we have $20? Listen to this. Listen to this.
In positions of power and have been thieving the aid that they was in positions of power and have been thieving the aid that they have been sending into the nation to help the people.
Now, this is the church, and this is loaded. And my brothers and sisters, you see what we're up against, because God has gotten involved. We have much to pray about. Those in position of power, thief in the aid. Is Bishop Shuttleworth, you know. He has joined in this. What a reckless statement. Somehow, God tell you, say, those in position of power, thief in aid. So why God have to tell you? And why God not tell them to stop? I mean, be reasonable with me. Because I believe in God. I do. With all my heart, I believe in God. And this is how God operates. God tell Bishop Shuttleworth, say, the people in power are thief the aid. Ay, boy. I tell you the truth.
Those in positions of power and have been thieving the aid that they have been sending into the nation to help the people.
Who is thief in the aid? I could say a lot here, but it's better left unsaid. But just to say to my listeners, be careful, you hear? Be careful. Just be careful. Do we have any other callers there, Caroline? Do we have any other callers? Let's go to the commander.
The following figures obtained in situation. We have confirmed 45 fatalities. This number has not changed since my last briefing.
Wherever else you hear that, on the 45 fatalities have been recorded by the government.
With 9 cases remaining under investigation.
9 are under investigation. So 45 plus 9 is 54. They have confirmed 45 and they have another 9 under investigation. So by at best at this time, 54 persons.
15 persons still remain missing and or
15 are missing. So they cannot account for 15 people.
Thoughts remain with their families and loved ones. What I indicate about the missing number is that the number continues to evolve. Some persons have been coming off the list and a number of persons have also joined the list. As of today's date, 97 emergency shelters remain active, housing some
97 remain active shelters. So then no one should be on the street. There are 97 active shelters, all right?
1,296 persons. Since my last briefing, 167 persons have returned home or found alternate safe accommodation.
167 persons have left the shelters and are gone back at them yard. All right?
As it relates to communities still cut off, no communities remain inaccessible at this time.
No community is inaccessible, meaning them can't get in there. There is no community that the government cannot reach.
Time. A number of communities, however, are impacted by rising groundwater. In the parish of Clarendon, Bogue, in the parish of Manchester, Comfort Hall, Content District, Evergreen, and Harmons, in the parish of St. Elizabeth, Brighton, Newmarket, and sections of Santa Cruz, in the parish of Hanover, Chigwell, in the parish of St. Anne, Douglas Castle, and Pedro River. Approximately 31% of our population remains without electricity. Prioritization efforts continue in critical economic zones in St. James, St. Anne, and Trelawney. 24% of the NWC system remains offline, primarily due to damage in western parishes and power instability in some regions. Telecommunications have shown steady progress, with providers restoring just about 70% of mobile sites, which on average over 90% of...
All right, so that was a little bit of an update coming out of the press conference yesterday. Any more callers, Caroline, or we can lock down for today until 7 o'clock? Let me know.
No, not at the moment, neighbor. But before you go, I would like to say thanks to Nev, Widdix, and Denny for contributing today. And I would also like to say thanks to Cowboy 6860, who have sponsored the show for this evening.
We do have a sponsor for but yeah.
Yes, we do. Cowboy 6860. Thank you very much for sponsoring this evening's show. And we would like to say thanks to all the listeners, but special thanks to Kevin Bennett for being our tapper. So, you know.
He's a tapper? He's a tap dancer?
No, neighbor, he's the tapper. He gives us the taps most.
Okay. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Thank you, Kevin. That's the man who promised me the trunk back?
Yes, neighbor.
I don't get it yet, you know. Well, thank you so much for today. And we're going to be checking out until 7 o'clock tonight. I want to thank you, Caroline, for holding things down for me and for supporting us. Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for your sponsorship too.
You're very welcome.
Big up Kevin, Tapper, our number one tapper. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. See you at 7 o'clock.